Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna and pranams to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Welcome to Guruvayur. So in this session about holy Teerthas, today we are going to discuss about the glories of Guruvayur, the most ancient temple in Kerala. So welcome to Guruvayur. And Krishna in this temple is called Guruvayurappan. That's the name of the deity. And this temple is glorified in many scriptures. So, to begin with, we should understand the difference between the holy Teerthas. So, there are 4 kinds of temples as per Skanda Puran. That is Kshetra, Mahakshetra, Divyakshetra and Dham. Totally 4 kinds. Once again, Kshetra, Mahakshetra, Divyakshetra and Dham. If we construct a temple and install a deity, that is Kshetra. There are many millions of kshetras in India. So many temples built by many personalities. That's all kshetras. And what is Mahakshetra? Mahakshetra is a temple and a deity not installed by human, but it is constructed and installed by devas, demigods. Then it is called Mahakshetra. And the third one, Divyakshetra, neither installed by human nor installed by devas. If the deity self-manifests, Swayambhu, if the deity manifests on its own, then it is Mahakshetra. Divyakshetra. And the fourth one is Dham, where you don't need a particular temple or deity. The whole place, the entire stretch of land is a temple. So it is a Kshetra built by human, Mahakshetra installed by devas, Divyakshetra, the self-manifested deity Swayambhu, and Dham, where you don't need a particular temple. The whole place is divine. For example, Dham, we say Mayapur, Navadvip, Ayodhya, where you don't need a particular temple. In Vrindavan, we worship mountain, Govardhan Giri, we worship Yamuna river, we worship dust of Vrindavan, we worship Kadamba trees, we worship cows. Same way in Navadvip, Ganga, and so many places. And Ayodhya, if you go, then there is Sarayu. So these are all Dham. It is the highest and you don't need a temple over there. Then comes Divya Kshetra, where the deity is self-manifested one. For example, you have in Tirupati and Udupi self-manifested deities. Then comes Mahakshetra, the deities installed by Devas, demigods. So Guruvayur temple falls under Mahakshetra because Guruvayurappan, Krishna deity, was originally installed by Guru Brihaspati and Vayudev. They both jointly installed this deity, Guru and Vayu. That's why the place is called Guruvayur and the deity is called Guruvayurappan. So, the glories starts like this. A Shudra and Shudrani were there. A couple who were living an abominable life, very degraded, performing all kinds of sinful activities. So one day, when they saw a Brahmana doing penance on the bank of a holy Teertha, a pond, and after performing his penance, the Brahmana was walking back, and this Shudra, he said something very bad, abominable, some hurting, insulting words towards the Brahmana. The moment he uttered that word, the Shudra turned into a rock. And his wife Shudrani, she was crying and weeping and repenting, and she was praying, and Brahmana said, I am very sorry about it. That is the glory of this land. Your husband unknowingly criticized me, but then I was doing penance in this place, Then the Brahmana started telling the glories of this place to Shudrani. And he said, no, don't worry. You simply pray at the lotus feet of all the great devotees traveling to this place. In future, millions and millions of people will be coming to this holy place for worship, and simply pray to their lotus feet. Your husband, his curse, everything will be relieved, redeemed, and he will get back to his position. And the Brahmana started speaking about the glory of this place. So originally, this town is called Rudra Teertha, connected to Lord Shiva. Somehow, most of the holy places in Bharatvarsha are all under Lord Shiva, Mahadev. But Krishna goes there and plays some tricks and prank, and Krishna will chase Lord Shiva from that place. Like Badrinath. Originally Lord Shiva was there in Badrinath. Then Krishna came and pushed Lord Shiva to Kedarnath. In the same way, this Guruvayur temple, this Teertha, originally belongs to Lord Shiva, and it is called Rudra Teertha. The story is narrated by the Brahmana to Shudrani. And Mahadev was staying under this Teertha for millions of years. And this is the place we can read in Bhagavatam, where Mahadev instructed to Navayogendras under the water. And this is that great holy Teertha. You can come across this story and pastime in Bhagavatam, where Lord Shiva appeared in front of Navayogendras and spoke about the great glory of devotional service. And one beautiful message of Lord Shiva to Navayogendras are, you are successful because you are united. The 9 brothers, your focus is same. You are united in devotional service. That is why you are very successful. So all these pastimes happened in this particular Teertha. So Krishna, Narayana's sons are Teerthas and daughters, rivers are daughters. Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, all the rivers are daughters. And Teerthas, Pushkara Teertha, Prayag Teertha, Prabhas Teertha, Teerthas are sons. They stay in one place, and whenever people go and take bath, and they purify the subtle body of those Jivatmas. So rivers are daughters, they keep flowing from one place to another, and the sons are Teerthas. They stay permanently in a place. But once, one of the Teertha, he didn't obey the words of Lord, and he became a river instead of Teertha. Because Teerthas are male and rivers are female. And this son, particular son, he did not listen to Brahma or Lord, whatever their conditions are. Then he went and became river instead of Teertha. So he got cursed that you will never be taken for the worship of the Supreme Lord. And that Teertha is Brahmaputra. Instead of becoming a Teertha, he went and became a river. That is why Brahmaputra is not added in the worship of Lord Narayana. In the mantra, you don't see Brahmaputra coming. Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, Godavari. You don't see Brahmaputra. So, this Teertha was Lord Shiva's residence for many, many years. And Lord Shiva met so many great sages and saints and spoke about Atma Tattva, the philosophy of soul, spiritual philosophy. He has discussed so much of Gyan with many, many sages and rishis in this particular place. And Lord Shiva also spoke to Navayogendras. So this place is a very, very holy place. But by the end of Dwapara Yuga and the beginning of Kali Yuga, we know from Bhagavatam and Krishna book, the great city of Dwaraka, the city of Lord, Krishna's own kingdom, Dwaraka, it disappeared inside water. At that time, 16,108 queens of Krishna, they all had a personal deity which they were worshipping with them. Rukmini Mata had a deity, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Mitravinda, all the queens, 16,108 queens, they had their deities. But when Dwaraka submerged and disappeared from human vision, these deities floated and rested on the west coast of India. That is why all the deities you see right from Maharashtra down to Kanyakumari, like we have Trivandrum, Ananta Padmanabhji Mandir, there is a Krishna deity. You go little up, there is a town called Varkala, there is a Krishna deity. Many. In Kerala, at least some 14-15 temples, famous Krishna temples on the western coast, all has got Krishna deities, Narayana deities, including Guruvayur, even Udupi. All these deities were worshipped by the queens of Dwaraka. They were personally worshipping each one of them. And some of them got this Narayan deity gifted by Brahma. For some people it was gifted by Lord Shiva. Some people got it from Surya Dev. So nobody knew the exact time of this deity. But finally the queens were worshipping the deities. And all the deities gathered in the west coast. And these deities are all called Tiruvambadi Krishna. Tiruvambadi means Vrindavan. So they have all these Krishna deities, and every stretch, the full stretch of Kerala and almost half of Karnataka, you have so many Krishna temples, and all the deities were worshipped by queens. So once Guru and Vayu, they got this deity directly. from Dwarka. And the tejas and the brilliance, the moment Guru Brihaspati and Vayudev touched this Krishna deity, they felt a great bliss, a great transformation took place with them. And they couldn't control the bliss, they were like enjoying. So they traveled, they were seeking for a holy place where this deity can be installed. And in their journey, they met Narad Muni. And Narad Muni said, this is the best place, but please take permission of Lord Shiva because this is Lord Shiva's place. You go and ask permission. And if Lord Shiva permits, this is the greatest holy place because Lord Shiva had been staying here for many, many ages and instructing sadhus and sons and saints and rishis. So this is the best place, please install the deity here. So under Narada's instruction, Brihaspati and Vayudeva approached Lord Shiva in the tank, in the pond where Lord Shiva was meditating. Lord Shiva was more than happy to know that this particular deity is going to get installed. So he got out of the pond and gave the whole place to Brihaspati and Vayu, and he moved to a next tank, next pond, and that pond is called Mammiyur Pond. Even today, if you come to Guruvayur temple, next to the temple is Lord Shiva's temple. There you have Lord Shiva meditating. And this holy place was given to Lord Krishna. And Brihaspati and Vayudeva installed this temple, and that's why this temple is called Guruvayurappan temple. And the glories, Purana starts from the beginning of Kali Yuga. We all know from Bhagavatam, Parikshit finally ended his life after listening to Bhagavatam. The snake Takshaka came and bit Parikshit. After 7 days, Parikshit attained Godhead. But Parikshit's son, King Janamejaya, he became so wild and upset and angry. My father was bit by a snake. He was so angry and he started hating snakes. So he conducted a huge Havan, Yajna, and it is called Sarpasatram, a huge fire sacrifice. And in that he invited all the snakes from 14 planetary systems, and he started killing all the snakes in the fire sacrifice. Snakes from Nagaloka, Yakshaloka, Kinnaraloka, Gandharvaloka. He pulled all the snakes from the entire 14 planetary systems, and he started killing them. And Brahmadeva appeared and said, what nonsense are you doing? Because of some snake bit your father? You can't kill all the snakes in the entire creation. You are committing a mistake. And after hearing for long from Brahma, Janamejaya realized that he was doing this mistake, killing snakes unnecessarily, killing the snakes in the entire creation. Then you see, amazing thing happened. Because of that sin, Janamejaya developed a strange leprosy. He developed a very strange skin disease. Janamejaya developed. All over, there were sores all over his body. And worms were crawling on the sores. And a very bad smell, blood and all this. It was stinking and people were not getting along and they're not coming closer. And Janamejaya felt very bad. So he approached the sages. How can I cure myself? And the sages said, even though snake is a poisonous living entity, still you killed those snakes unnecessarily. Because somewhere in scriptures it is said you can kill a snake. That doesn't mean you can go around hunting for snakes. And why snakes are allowed to kill? Because the snakes are a very jealous living entity. They're envious about their partner also. You don't see them in group, like you can see birds flocking together in a group, cows moving around grazing in a group, ants crawling in a group. You can see all kinds of living, and even human, they live in a group. You can see all kinds of living, and birds, reptiles, animals, human. But you don't see 10 snakes crawling together. But you can even see elephants going together, but you don't see snakes crawling together, because they are highly envious. They live alone. So, Garuda Puran says, if someone who is very envious, in the next janma he will take, one janma he has to take birth as a snake. Anyway, Janamejaya pulled all the snakes and he got this leprosy, and Brahma stopped the yajna and said, what nonsense are you doing? And he got the strange skin disease and he was feeling bad. Then the sages advised Janamejaya, please go to Guruvayur. Sit there continuously. Take bath in the local pond there, the Shiva Teertha, Rudra Teertha. And morning to night take darshan of the Lord, read Ramayana, Bhagavad and Mahabharata, chant Krishna's holy name, take very less food, whatever is given from the temple, live like an ascetic with faith. Slowly you will cure your skin disease. So Janamejaya came to this place and very sincerely, every day attending Mangalarti. This temple has a strange custom. Mangalarti is at 3:30 in the morning. Even today, you go to Mangalarti, at least some 500, 600 people will be there every day for Mangalarti. And on festival days, it will go to 2,000-3,000, Huge queues will be there for Mangalarti. People wait. Nirmalayam, they say. Nirmalayam means without any ornaments, without, and Lord will be seen only in his undergarment. In the morning, like a baby boy, only with his cowpeel, nothing else. And bare body, Nirmalayam, no ornaments, no garland, no decoration, no paraphernalia. And people will be flocking around to take this darshan early morning. So Janamejaya was taking early morning darshan, reading and chanting. And when he was doing this faithfully, gradually his skin disease started disappearing. He was curing himself. Slowly he was curing. And very patiently and honestly, faithfully, he was listening to Bhagavad, Ramayana, all the holy scriptures and chanting and all. So one day an amazing thing happened. The sages were reading and explaining and narrating, and Janamejaya was listening with his family. So the sage started explaining Bhagavad Gita, the battle between Pandavas and Kauravas, and Pandavas are Janamejaya's great-grandfathers. And when they were explaining, they told Janamejaya, you don't know your grandfather, how powerful they were. Yudhishthira, he's very good in spear. Bhima was very good in Gada. Arjun was very good in bow and arrows. And when in the Kurukshetra battle, Duryodhana did not know how to stop Bhima. So when Bhima was rushing like a mad elephant, Duryodhana will send 10,000 elephants in the direction of Bhima. And you know what Bhima did? Bhima will catch those elephants by their tail and by their tusk, and he will rotate and throw them up in the sky. The sages were telling Janamejaya, your great-grandfather Bhima used to throw the elephants up in the sky. And Janamejaya, do you know? Some of those elephants are still coming down. They have not yet landed, even today. When sages said this, Janamejaya laughed and said, how can that be possible? You are telling me that my great-grandfather Bhimasen threw an elephant up in the sky, Bhima, and the elephant is still coming down? Do you want me to believe this? No, there should be some kind of logic in explaining stories, and this is too much. The moment Janamejaya uttered this, a mammoth elephant came and crashed right in front of him with a huge noise. Janamejaya was like taken aback. It was true. What happened by the time? All that skin disease which was disappearing, all reappeared back. Why that happened? Because Janamejaya didn't have faith. He didn't have faith. It is very important in Krishna consciousness to have faith. We have belief. Many of us have belief. We don't have faith. Belief is something which can be influenced by time. Faith can never be influenced by time. And the elephant came and crashed down and the disease reappeared. Then Janamejaya cried and repented, beating on his head and beating on his chest. What a great mistake I have done. How can I doubt scriptures? How can I doubt sadhus and rishis and sages? And he was repenting, and slowly he cured his disease. Repentance is a beautiful thing explained in scriptures, and how you should repent, that is also explained. If we hurt a Vaishnava, so how to repent, it is explained in scriptures. Like a young lady, she got married, got a baby boy, just 1-year-old boy crawling. One day she went to draw water from the well. When the mother was going towards the well, the boy, 1-year-old boy, also started crawling and calling mama, mama, like that. Then the mother, out of so much love, carried the baby boy to the well. She was holding the baby in one hand and trying to draw water from the well. In the olden days, I don't know how many of you have the experience of drawing water from the well. She was holding baby in one hand and trying to draw water. What happened? By mistake, baby slipped and fell inside the well. She was screaming and she was about to jump inside the well. By the time villagers came, they pulled her back and they jumped inside the well and brought the baby out. By the time the baby was dead, what will be the consciousness of that lady? She must be crying and cursing herself and blaming herself. And Shastra says that is how we should repent when we commit a mistake. So Janamejaya very deeply repented, worshipped, cried, chanted and listened to the scriptures faithfully. So once again he cured his skin disease. So even today, people who have different kinds of health problem, they come to Guruvayur, stay for 40-41 days, eat one meal a day which is given from the temple, take bath in the temple pond and keep chanting and listening, and many people cure themselves. Many cases which doctors couldn't do, all getting cured in Guruvayur temple. So, started with Janamejaya. So, amazing pastimes are there related to this temple. There are many wonderful devotees who are connected to Guruvayurappan. And the intimate relationship with devotees and the Lord is really wonderful, and we can learn many lessons from that. And one special devotee, his name was Melpattur Nambudripad, a high-class Brahmana, was little proud about his Sanskrit knowledge also. He had a very great, deep Sanskrit knowledge, a great Pandit. He composed Narayaniyam, which is a condensed version of Srimad Bhagavatam. At the same time, contemporary, there was another devotee who was living, and his name was Poondanam, very humble, simple, elderly Brahmana. So he used to compose songs on Guruvayurappan in vernacular language, in a local language. And Melpattur never appreciated it, saying that you are writing in local language, why don't you write in Sanskrit? Sanskrit is the real thing, and he was very proud about his knowledge. And Pundanam, on the other hand, he writes very simple versions, and regularly he takes it and gives it to Melpattur and says, please check my composition. Please find out if it is all right. Is there any mistakes? But Melpattur was very arrogant, and he used to avoid or sometimes insult, saying that what you have written is not good, reject him regularly. But Pundanam very humbly, repeatedly approached Melpattur. One day Melpattur was a bit irritated, and he took the composition of Pundanam and started checking and said, what have you written? It is full of mistakes. You have glorified Krishna saying that he is Maraprabhu. Instead of that, you are supposed to write Amaraprabhu, the Lord of Immortals. But you have written Maraprabhu, which means Lord of Trees. How can you glorify Krishna like this? And he rejected. And Pundanam felt very bad, feeling guilty that I have written something wrong. And he repented, worried, and he went back. But amazingly, in Guruvayur, one day, Guruvayurappan Krishna gave darshan in the form of tree. He told Melpattur, I am Lord of Immortals also. At the same time, I am Lord of Trees also. I am Amaraprabhu as well as Maraprabhu. And Lord gave darshan in the form of tree. Even today in Guruvayur, you can see Lord in the form of tree, a beautiful, huge sculpture, around 30 feet sculpture. Krishna giving in form of tree, darshan in the form of tree. So from that day, Melpattur realized Pundanam was a very wonderful devotee, so humble. Then Melpattur realized an amazing thing. Actually, knowledge is not the asset of a devotee. Humility is the real asset of a devotee. Then he started appreciating Pundanam. Then, if you come on the eastern side of the temple, eastern gate, you can see a place with a board which is written, this is the place where Melpattur sat down and composed Narayaniyam. Narayaniyam is just condensed version of Bhagavatam. So Melpattur, with so much of sincerity, and it was amazing Sanskrit composition, he composed Narayaniyam. And somewhere in between, when he was explaining Narsimha Leela, it seems Lord Nrsimha actually rode and approved. And another beautiful thing happened when he composed Narayaniyam. He was sitting right in front of Guruvayurappan and composing. Then when it came to Dashamaskandam, the 10th canto, he wrote that Yashoda stopped giving milk to Krishna. Krishna became very angry. He took his flute and broke the pot. After composing that, Melpattur took original Vyasa Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, and compared. Then Melpattur realized, oh my God, in that Vyasa has written that Krishna broke the pot with a stone. But here I have written that Krishna has broken the pot with flute. How can I do this mistake? So immediately he tried to correct it. But Guruvayurappan from the temple, Krishna said, O Melpattur, I broke the pot with the flute as well as stone. Don't stop, keep writing. So in this way, Melpattur, Lord Krishna approved the writings of Melpattur. So Melpattur slowly, at that time, Melpattur contracted skin disease. Like Janamejaya cured his skin disease, Melpattur also had a lot of skin disease, and By the time he finished Narayaniyam, he got completely cured. Even today, hundreds and thousands of people, they come and sit and read Narayaniyam in front of Krishna. Then the other devotee, Pundanam, he was living something like 100 kilometers away from Guruvayur. Every month, Ekadashi day, Guruvayur Ekadashi days are very popular in Guruvayur. Every month, he will walk all the 100 days and come and take darshan of Guruvayurappa regularly without fail. So one day, he told Guruvayurappan, Krishna, I am very old now. I can't walk anymore like olden days. Maybe this is the last time I'm coming and having your darshan. Please forgive me, hereafter I won't be able to travel. He took permission, begged sorry, prayed so sincerely with tears in his eyes. And he got on his bullock cart and went back. On the way back, Pundanam was crying continuously again, thinking that he won't be able to take darshan of Krishna anymore. Feeling very bad and crying and chanting Krishna's name and going back. And suddenly he heard somebody talking, from the bullock cart, somebody sitting behind him. So this elderly Pundanam turned back and saw Guruvayurappan sitting in the bullock cart and said, Pundanam, if you are not coming here anymore, I will also come with you. In this way, Krishna travelled in bullock cart and went all the way to Pundanam's house. Even today that place is there, where on the last day, when Pundanam was taking a meal, a vehicle came from Vaikunta with Dwarapalakas and carried Pundanam and went back. So today if you go to his house, you can see that place marked and all that inscription which says Pundanam went back to Godhead, in that particular spot. Amazing. That's why we say Pratima Nahitu Sakshat Vrajendra Nandana. You are not an idol, you are not a statue, you are not metal, you are not wood, you are not stone, you are not paint. You are Sakshat Vrajendra Nandana, son of Nanda Maharaj. So whoever with complete faith, when they start interacting with Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. Ye yatam mam prapadyante. Another lady called Manjula. When you enter in the eastern gate, there is a huge Garuda Stamba and there is a pillar next to it, and there is a banyan tree. It is called Manjula's banyan tree, So there, this lady, she used to make garlands for Krishna every day. And she used to come from a little faraway place. So one day when she came, it became very late and the temple got closed. She felt very bad. I could not serve Krishna. I could not offer garland in the time. And she cried and repented and begged sorry. Then the pujari saw and said, okay, don't worry. Anyway, temple is closed. Simply think of Krishna, pray to Krishna and keep it at the banyan tree. Leave it at the banyan tree. If Krishna is pleased with your seva, he will definitely accept. Then this lady Manjula prayed to Krishna ardently, very sincerely, and left that garland near the banyan tree. Next day, when the pujaris came and opened the temple, they saw this garland around the neck of Guruvayurappan. Whomever it may be. If you have faith and very sincerely we chant the holy name, serve Krishna, Krishna definitely accepts all the seva. Then another Swamiji, Sannyasi, he is also called Vilvamangal Thakur, Vilvamangala Swami. In Kerala, if you go to any temple, there is a saint called Vilvamangal. Please don't get confused with Vilvamangal Thakur, who is Leela Shuka, who wrote Krishna Karnamrita, not that person. But all the disciples in his Sampradaya got a surname called Vilvamangal. So their name will be Vilvamangal, so and so Sannyasi, Swamiji. So there was one wonderful devotee, another sannyasi in Guruvayur. It's a beautiful pastime of a king, the sannyasi, and an elderly lady called Kururamma. Elderly lady Kururamma and the king Manaveda and this Vilvamangal sannyasi. All the three lived in the same time. And Vilvamangal was worshipping Krishna with gyan, knowledge, shloka, Sanskrit and everything. And he used to see Krishna when he chants Krishna's name. He used to physically, like our Goswamis used to have experience with Krishna, interact with Krishna. Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Yomam pashyati sarvatra, sarvam cha mai pashyati, tasyaham na pranashyami, sachame na pranashyati. I am neither lost nor he is ever lost to me. So Vilvamangal was such a wonderful devotee. He used to glorify Krishna, and it seems he used to see Krishna. And somehow the king, Manaveda, came to know this, that Vilvamangal is interacting with Krishna. So every day he used to go and beg to the Vilvamangal Swamiji, please ask Krishna to give me also darshan. I too wanted to see Krishna. I too want, he used to beg every day. So Vilvamangal Vilvamangal Swamiji will say, I will ask Krishna. If Krishna permits, you can also have darshan. So every day when he is praying to Krishna, he will submit the king's request also. So one day Krishna told, okay, tomorrow I will be there. And the king can see me from far, but he should not come and touch me. It's a condition. And Vilvamangal conveyed this to the king, and the king became so happy. He had tears in his eyes. He was jubilant and blissful. And next day, when he came for darshan, he saw the beautiful Shyam Sundara. Nice lotus-shaped petals, eyes like lotus-shaped petals, extended up to the ears, curly hairs, lips like a vilva fruit. And Manaveda completely lost himself and ran to hug that baby boy. He forgot the conditions, he forgot the deal. He ran, he was so attracted by the beauty of Krishna. Nice sharp-shaped earrings, neck looks like a conch shell. The king Manaveda, he ran. When he came near Krishna, Krishna disappeared. But by the time the king grabbed the peacock feather, devotees may not believe this. Manaveda had this peacock feather. And every day, Krishna's peacock feather. And every day he will meditate on the feather, and he wrote beautiful songs. If you come to Kerala, you will see all this Kathakali and all the dramas and different kinds of dance, temple art forms. So most of these dramas, almost 10 main dramas, were written by the king Manaveda meditating on peacock feather. And this happened some 400, 500 years back. For many, many years, Devasam board, the temple authorities were preserving this peacock feather, original from Goloka, Vaikunta. But then slowly after some time it disappeared. So then Vilvamangal Thakur became a little proud that I am able to, Vilvamangal Swamiji became little proud that I am able to interact with Krishna, talk to Krishna. He got a little bit of this thing. Then Krishna said, Kururamma, an elderly lady, is the most dear devotee of me in Guruvayur. That was like a shock for Vilvamangal. He had an impression that he is the closest person. He used to talk to Krishna, interact with Krishna. He used to see Krishna every day. Then he got to know this elderly lady. So Vilvamangal Swamiji started inquiring, who is this mother, elderly lady? So she stays near Guruvayur. At the age of 16, she became a widow. Then in those days, widow means, it's like a cursed lady. People will reject her, avoid her. Everybody will blame her. You got a curse, you are not good for the village. So she took complete shelter of Krishna. If we are helpless, if we are rejected, we don't have any other shelter, we should simply surrender to Krishna. That is what the Acharyas had sung. Adaram Maduram, Nayanam Maduram, Hasitam Maduram, Gamanam Maduram, Hridayatipater, Akilam Maduram. The sweet Lord will become our own son. Kararavindena Padaravindam, Padaravindena Viniveshayandam, Vatasya Patrasya Pudeshayanam, Balam Mukundam Manasasmarami. That beautiful Krishna will become our son. So when the whole village rejected this lady, no shelter, no relatives, nothing, she simply surrendered to Krishna. And Krishna appeared in her house like a young boy. And she doesn't realize that is Krishna. Krishna used to cook for her, help her in household chores, wash her vessels, He was doing all kinds of menial activities. And the lady was also feeling comfortable. At least there is somebody to help me. She was very elderly. At the same time, Krishna was little naughty also, doing little nakaras here and there, little naughtiness. So whenever she makes some payasam, he will drop some salt, kheer, something. So Kururama, the elderly Mataji, used to get little angry also. So one day, Krishna did something really naughty. So this lady got so upset, took this baby Krishna. She doesn't realize it is the Supreme Lord. Like Shuka Maharshi is singing. Jnanis are searching Krishna through their jnana. Yogis are searching Krishna in their heart. And some people are, wearing different kinds of costumes and jata and shaved head, tilaks, Himalayas. They're all searching the Supreme Truth. But that Supreme Truth is tied to a pillar in the courtyard by a gopi. How glorious these gopis are. In the same way, this elderly mother, she took Krishna because he was naughty, dropped him inside a charcoal box and locked him. At that time, Vilvamangal Swamiji came to meet Kururama, this elderly lady. Then he realized Krishna is there inside a charcoal box with all the black paints. Then he understood how glorious this lady is. That is why Krishna says, Aham Bhakta Paradhina. I am never lost to anyone in this world. If at all I am lost to someone, I am lost to my devotees. Only devotees can defeat me and no one else. So many pastimes. A recent one, somewhere in 1950s, there was an administrative officer, a nice man. So if you come to Guruvayur temple, many temple, the localites, they don't go inside every day because there's a large queue. So the local villagers, whatever offerings they want to keep, sugar, banana, they will leave it on particular place and they will go. So villagers used to bring, sugar, bananas, everything and leave at particular spot. But every day, some things are missing. Some bananas are missing, some fruits are missing, some grains are missing. The authorities could not find out who is stealing this. So they were like hiding here and there, and one day they tried to catch the thief and they found 3 small kids, children. They come every day, they pick all the bananas, and they will eat. But the three boys, very honest thieves, they will divide the whole thing into four. And one portion they will take and drop inside the donation box. Krishna, this is for you. This banana is for you. And the other portion they will eat. They will give an equal share to Krishna. The authorities caught these thieves, small thieves. And the authorities taught small boys what to do with them, how to punish them. Not fair. But at the same time, they wanted to teach them a lesson so that they won't repeat this mistake. You cannot steal anything from a temple which belongs to temple. So the authority said, okay, because you have taken bananas, hereafter you should not do. As a punishment, you run few rounds around the temple. And the three boys were running. And when they went little far, the temple authorities could see four boys running. And again, when they come closer, there are only three boys. When they go far, there are four boys running. And when they come closer, again there are three boys. And they were wondering, who is the fourth boy who is appearing and disappearing? Because Krishna also took a share from the boys. He was also running with the boys. What a sweet pastime. And this happened quite recently. And very important thing in Guruvayur, when you enter through the eastern gate, there is a big bowl, and in that bowl, huge vessel, you can see something like tiny red color beads, something like gunja beads, but slightly different from gunja beads, not exactly like gunja beads. It's all lying there in a huge vessel. People will come, they think it is kept so that Krishna will come and play. A very sweet pastime is there behind that. An elderly Mataji was living a bit far away. And she wanted to go to Guruvayur temple and take darshan of Krishna once in her lifetime. That's all her desire was. I want to simply take darshan of Krishna only once in my lifetime. Alright? And she was praying continuously. And people said, if you are going to temple, never go empty-handed. You should always carry something and go. Don't go empty-handed. Take fruits, flower, never go. If you're going to temple, you're going to meet a pregnant lady, going to meet children, going to see elderly people, brahmanas, kings, guru, you should never go empty-handed. Take something, dakshina, fruits, flowers. But this lady was such a poor lady. She didn't have money, no relatives, nothing. So she collected these beads, which is useless. You can't wear it, you can't cook it, it's useless ones. But she collected everything and made a small bundle, and she came to Guruvayur. And that was the first day of the month. Even today in Guruvayur, every first day of month, there's a huge queue. People come with a lot of donations, fruits, flowers, bananas. So this lady also came and stood in the queue, very elderly Mataji, holding that bundle of beads, useless ones. At that time, there was a big hangama, halla balla, somebody is coming around, and with trumpet, band baja, the king was coming for darshan. And every month the king will come and donate an elephant to Guruvayurappan, to Krishna. Even today, Krishna has got a huge collection of elephants. There's many elephants Guruvayur temple has got. So the king used to march with elephant and donate an elephant every month. So immediately people started pushing others, move away, the king is coming. And somebody pushed this lady, and the lady went and fell. The elderly Mataji fell down, and her bundle fell on the ground. The king crossed away, walked away, and the elephant came and stamped on the bundle. The next moment, elephant became crazy and ran away. So king was so upset. Why did this happen? I brought an offering to the temple, and what has happened? Immediately he called all the astrologers, and the astrologers were checking why this happened and what was Krishna's will. And the astrologers said, this is the answer of Krishna. And what is that answer? Krishna likes the beads which are brought by that elderly Mataji more than the elephant of the king. After that, everybody started bringing that beads. Then now they have kept in a huge vessel. Yomam bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam. Offer with love and devotion, and Krishna will definitely accept that love and devotion. And one more funny thing is there, very strange thing. Near the Devasam office inside Guruvayur temple, you can see an coconut with horns. I don't know how many of you have seen a coconut with horns. India has got 2 horns, There are 3-4 coconuts, they have kept it as a collection. Happened very recently, maybe like less than 100 years. A farmer, like other devotees, every first cultivation harvest, he will come and donate it to Guruvayurappan. So he was like in a small catamaran, small boat. He was collecting all his coconuts. Kerala is always a place of coconut and bananas everywhere. So he collected all the coconuts and, was rowing a boat and came to temple. And suddenly a thief came. I said, give me everything. And they said, no, this is for temple. This is for Krishna. I'm giving every month, so please don't take it. This is a special coconut. I will not give it away. I will give it only for Krishna. And the thief very sarcastically, oh, what special coconut is this? Does this have horns? Sarcastically commented. And he grabbed the sack from the farmer, then he opened the sack to see surprise. All the coconuts in the bag had horns, 2 horns. Even today, some of them they are preserving in the temple. So much of pastimes and so much of wonderful things which we can believe. For non-devotees, these are all beautiful evidences. So even today you can go, you can see those coconuts, all that, with the horns. So please visit Guruvayur. It's a wonderful temple connected to Janamejaya, son of Parikshit, who got relieved from the curse, who understood, if we worship and pray with faith, definitely our prayers will be answered and we will become very dear devotees of Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.